Hello, this is my discussion. So, Harriet Ann Jacobs was a slave girl. She was born in Edenton, North Carolina. She was taught how to read and write, which led her to write a story, Incidents, which was called Incidents as a Life as Slave Girl. Um, she she essentially spoke about the physical, mental, and sexual abuse these slave girls went through, not just herself, but in general. And she also kind of touched bases on the deception the white wives went through before marriage because they were kind of they were kind of not forced to believe, but they were left to believe that this marriage was going to be perfect and then she just had perfect family, perfect husband, perfect everything. But when they got married, they found all these mixed babies, all these slave girls pregnant, and it was just not what they had imagined. Also, Diary of Dixie, written by Mary B. Chestnut, was was um was written more in the white wife's perspective. She kind of touched bases more on how she kind of touched more bases on what the white women thought and kind of what went on in their mind, I guess. Um, she spoke about how that these white women were not raised to disrespect men, to disrespect their dads or their husbands. And if they were to leave their husbands, they were scared of what society would think. And kind of at the end of the story, she asked for forgiveness from God, and what is it called? In both stories, they they both agreed that these white women, were deceived, and this is not what they dreamed of. This is not what they were taught or not what they were told that they were gonna get. The southern blacks, the southern black people developed a cultural distinction from those of the whites, and it created a racial barrier between them, and it kind of had like a mutual what's the word, it created this type of dependency between slaves and their masters, or masters and their slaves. For plantation owners in the South, slave labor was the biggest revenue, the biggest source of revenue. But in contrast, slaves experienced daily abuse, mentally, physically, and emotionally. Mentally and emotionally are same word. Sorry. Um, and the pro-slavery forced them into the antebellum era. It switched from defending slavery because it was evil, and then to kind of changing everyone's mind and saying it was beneficial and it was good for society, or for the U.S. And some believed that slavery provided a good impact on the African Americans, and they were like children that needed to be sort of protective and guarded. But thank you. That's my discussion.